Hello, everybody. We are back from break. When we left our heroes, Ezrah had managed to dispel, draw forth a demonic entity from the moon elf Marta Moonshadow. And a brief altercation ensued in the immediate aftermath of that moment as the party found themselves stricken with darkness. They fought against this creature and seemingly were able to wound the creature, fix themselves, restore their vision at least somewhat, and press this creature enough that it felt that it could no longer fight them directly, and it needed to resort to a hostage situation, at which point it took the unconscious form of Marta Moonshadow and held it before itself. And a sort of negotiation began. I say sort of negotiation because it's part negotiation, part like trying to get information. And Matashtai, so far, Matashtai has been doing the most of the speaking and has managed to navigate the situation, but it has now reached a point to where the demon has grown frustrated, has grown tired of the questioning, and it becomes clear that it is on the edge, and it is that point that, with Ezra's aid, Matashtai calls into question the demon's entire purpose, the demon's entire mission, right? It is here as a curse upon Marta's bloodline for whatever reason. And Matashtai and Ezrah call into question, is this mission that it has a boon from its goddess, from its demon lord? Or has it basically been given a shitty side job, right? And in this particular moment, Matashtai and Ezrah are able to drive a wedge of doubt, of unsurety within the demon's psyche. And there's a moment, Ezrah, Matashtai, you both kind of recognize this happens. What do you want to do? How do you exploit this further?
I guess I would just kind of follow it up with, because I mean, there's got to be a better way to improve your status in all size. Does she even remember Marta and her family?
You see the demon pause for a brief moment, and it's just, surely she remembers. But you see doubt on its face. It hasn't been that long. A few decades at most. She was just busy the last time we spoke.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, no.
I'm still here, still waiting to hear.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
He is, by the way, right? Like, you can all see your line of questioning, your inquisition is rocking this creature. It is somewhat distracted. I will say this for the sake of both ashes and bones. It is growing more distracted because it's internalizing more of what is happening. So, from a translation point, you could try to make a move to rescue Marta at this point, but he's not completely oblivious, right? It's like you've scaled up your chances of getting in without him ripping her head off, but it's not a sure thing yet. But will you get a sure thing? Question mark? I'll be right back.
I really don't have a whole lot of tools as a melee fighter for this kind of shit.
Like, obviously, like, I got Bones positioned to try and, dagger stab a wrist to make him drop.
Is the
but
plan
he's
to
got
kill
two
this
hands.
bitch? It is the plan to kill this bitch. Or
The-
are we trying
the
to
demon?
negotiate out of... yes,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course
no,
he is the bitch.
I absolutely want to
Just-
kill the demon.
Okay,
But
okay.
I don't want to do that until we can get Marta in a safe spot.
So I guess my question to Jeremy outside of this is, what do you consider a willing creature?
But depends on what the situation is. Are we talking about, if you're talking about Marta, she is fully unconscious and incapable of being willing.
She count as an object?
She counts as a creature.
She's not dead.
She's not dead, so she's not an object. She is still a creature. She is just
I'm gonna try.
unconscious and therefore cannot be willing.
Does anybody have access to banishment? Can we just banish Marta temporarily?
Nope. Not a cleric.
No.
Shit.
Okay, Ezra, Matashtai,
'Cause,
you see.
well, so
this,
I'm,
there's
I'll
doubt.
just, I'll say, look, when you can still hold on to her, can you take the hand off her throat real quick so we can talk about this? We're on our way down to see the Queen in Obsidian,
No in.
Queen of Obsidia. Maybe we can help you.
Situational advantage persuasion check.
Okay.
Because
I don't know what that means.
you're basically name dropping. Otherwise, this would just be a straight persuasion check.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Persuasion.
Oh,
How about
that
a
was
1 or an
one.
8?
Well, an 8 is way better than a 1, but an 8 is not enough to sway this demon. You don't get much like you're trying to stack the odds in your favor a little bit more, right? And the demon, you begin to speak, and at first the demon's only partially paying attention, but you finish the statement about removing its hand from her throat, and suddenly its eyes are back on you, and it's more aware again, right? And it snarls and kind of like chuffs, right? And then you realize you've angered it, but you keep talking, and you name drop, right, the Queen in Obsidia, and look, we're going there, maybe we can help out, and that kind of dips the anger back down to status quo, right? So you had a moment where you said the wrong fucking thing, almost caused bad shit, and then you said the right thing and pulled it kind of back in. So you've achieved nothing. It gets you no points.
And may God have mercy on your soul.
Did you finish with a question or anything that you were kind of trying to?
Yeah, I mean, I finished with is there could we help you?
It
progress
seems
your goals
it
down there.
looks for a second, and it says, that has been my goal for some time now, getting her accepted within.
But why her? Don't you want to get further?
But why male models?
I want her to suffer beneath the yoke of her betters. That is my mission. And as she is the last of her bloodline, it is through her that I must continue. I see the struggle just happening on on Mitch's face over there. Like, I love these kind of scenarios because they're like puzzles, and it's like what is the solution to the puzzle, right? Like, what's the right combination of words and phrases? Is there even is there a solution to this puzzle? Is it a trick puzzle? Is there no solution to the puzzle? Thank you, D&D. I love you. Also, I mean, Ezra, you're involved in this shit now. You spoke up. Feel free to keep bandying back and forth. It's up to you.
What if we convince her to visit the Queen in Obsidia without you riding along?
Roll. What the fuck, Mitch?
Yes.
What
yes.
option is this even?
You made him break character. Yes.
Roll.
Like, at this point, Matt's floundering, trying to think like an evil person to appease an evil person.
Roll
what
perception with
people?
a circumstantial you've confused me advantage.
Yeah,
in this
confusion
moment,
advantage.
the demon is like, wait, would that even work? Is that even an option? A 16. 16. Its right hand, the hand around her throat, begins to drift down as you see it visibly grow confused and begin to kind of like think and mouth the same words that I was just saying, right? Like, is that even possible? Would that work? Right, like to itself,
Okay,
right? Like not
time
to you.
out.
It's not having conversation to you.
Alright, time out. I'm not making this decision unilaterally. Do I make Bones throw a dagger at his wrist now when there's only one hand holding?
Ashes is also poised, right? Like this would be both a Bones and Ashes potential like leap into action situation.
Because I don't think it's going to get better than this. And I don't think I can actually get him to just agree to our terms.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing that, like, this is like, there is no solution, right? Because the only thing he wants is to get back in, and we're not letting him get back in, so...
I think all of us are ready to pounce. Especially
Is everyone
the way
okay with the consequence of this going badly?
Ezra has a scroll of raised dead, so
Ooh!
I've been thinking about that, but
Interesting,
I don't want to use it.
Okay. Well, then, I think it sounds like we're all in an accord.
as long as we commission a new scroll of raised dead, I am all for this.
Very fair.
Okay.
So I guess in that particular instance, as the right hand drifts down, right, in this moment of absent-mindedness, as the right hand drifts down, Bones, who is kind of like the foremost opportunist in this particular moment, sees his opportunity, and I'm assuming is gonna go for the dagger throw.
Yeah, he gonna hurl a dag. Of the like advantage, I'm assuming, because he's like kind of hiding.
He's not hiding.
/
However,
cutting action.
here's the
It's
very fun
surprise.
thing, right? So yeah, he is very fast, right? And he is automatically going to go first in this situation. So there's no like risk of, oh, we're gonna roll initiative and he rolled really badly, so he is at the very bottom. No, his dagger throw is starting this chain of events, and then we're gonna see what the chain of events actually is.
Okay.
I will say this: roll me, Matashtai, a perception check for Bones.
Okay. Wait, as Matt?
No, for Bones.
Okay. Okay.
You did say Matashtai.
Yeah, I said sorry. Yes, I use y'all's name. Ooh. Earlier, Matashtai failed to notice with his 18 passive perception that a certain little earth elemental creature has been poking up out of the ground here or there throughout this conversation.
Nice.
But Bones is very in tune with moss-covered rock near stream and has not only been waiting for opportunities, but has been actively looking. Mossy, the reason why the 18 did not catch earlier is because Mossy rolled a 21 on his stealth check earlier.
Fuck, Mossy.
Yeah.
Mossy had advantage on the situation, and Mossy has a +3. Mossy rolled an 18, natural 18 on his stealth
Damn.
check, and got a 21. But a 22 is enough for Bones to catch, make eye contact, right, or make like acknowledgement, and notice in the brief moments as this is happening to allow for Mossy shooting up out of the ground as Bones goes to throw a dagger, meaning that you do have an ally engaged. Now, obviously, Bones can just do the cutting action and give himself advantage type situation, so he doesn't necessarily need that. But if there was something else that you wanted to do, there is now a Zorn leaping into the face of this fucking demon.
It's like the Jaws poster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically.
No,
So
it's the man.
so
That
Mossy
has the
is
shark
there,
coming
kind of
up
like
over the ship.
up out of the ground, leaping towards this demon. Bones hurls a dagger. Are you what is the target for this dagger? Are you going to
in my
kill
mind,
the
the
demon?
target is he's holding her by the head, right?
Yep, absolutely.
He's aiming for the wrist. He's
Okay.
trying to make that hand drop.
This is going to be a called shot in that particular case, right? So we're going to say that the AC is higher. I'm not going to say it's like a +5 higher, but I will say it's a +3 higher, right? So roll me that beautiful bean footage. Bones.
Does he throw wind spike?
Yeah, he throws wind
Sometimes.
spike all the time. Absolutely.
Wind spike! Oh no. Oh no.
A 17 would normally hit the 15 AC of Kelmalmuth. But a 17 will not hit the circumstantial +3 18 AC on that arm. It grazes.
Too many
Bonus
dice. Had to
action?
roll too many
Right?
times tonight.
Can't he bonus
Oh,
action?
he can. Yeah, sure. We'll take this as this.
Okay,
oh no,
sure.
Did you bonus action use advantage on that?
Oh, yeah, I guess I would have.
Even though you had Mossy there to...
Yeah, you had Mossy there.
So, was Mossy there granting me advantage?
Mossy's not there granting you advantage, but Mossy is there giving you an ally in melee, meaning you don't need advantage for sneak attack.
I wasn't so much concerned about the sneak attack.
You were there
I
to
was
get the
concerned
hit.
about hitting.
So I think in that
Yeah.
that instance, you probably still would have used advantage. I think that's fair. Okay, then there is no bonus action. The blade, the wind spike, whips through the air. It grazes the top of the Dragloth's arm, but it does not meet its mark. It does not find that option, and it is now at that point that I think everyone needs to select their tokens again and roll for initiative. Ezra is going to get a -2 because he's partially involved in the conversation and very directly in the demon's line of sight. Matashtai is going to get a minus
of course you rolled with that
5
initiative,
because
too.
Matashtai is absolutely the focus of the demon and its conversation. Okay?
So my
Memory.
3.12 is now a 1.12.
I love you, Ezra. You're just not quick on your feet when it comes to the... You don't have dancing shoes. You're quick of the mind, just not of the toes.
I have floating shoes.
Well, that works. Okay, so... Yes, Ezra, you go down to a 1. Matashtai, you rolled a 13.
No, that's what the total was.
That's the total. Okay, you rolled it with a minus 5.
Oh, no, sorry. It was 13.2 with my initiative on it.
Gotcha. Okay, so you get a minus 5 because you are the target, like the focus of the demon. So basically, it's reducing your initiative order.
Yep.
Whereas Bones, Mossy, and Ashes are in that kind of like moment situation. 13. Okay. We get some moments of truth. Let's see.
These are all very low initiative.
Comparatively, right? Let's see what Kelmammoth gets.
Don't you
65.
Don't you? You're right.
It doesn't say, bye, Marta.
Yep, there it is.
Yep.
All right.
All that work.
Yep.
All that
God
work to
damn
be
it.
fucked by the dice.
Ah,
That's a lot of dice to be fucking. Okay.
what is that? Hold on. Fuck, it's a bonus action. Christ. Ah.
Lot of moments. But that, I think, is what makes D&D. The dagger windspike whips through the air, and as it does, the blade just barely misses its target. It grazes the arm of Kelmammoth, and the party leaps into action, but them leaping into action is not quite fast enough. We are going to, fortunately, move into combat, but unfortunately, Marta Moonshadow is unconscious. Coup de grace. Every
Wait.
hit against Marta Moonshadow.
All right, hold on. Before you roll this, right? I know my situation, right?
Yes.
I know that I am having performance issues in certain aspects.
Yes.
But regardless,
You don't have a reaction.
I would
Well,
say in this particular instance,
it's been like minutes.
I would absolutely say that you have a reaction. I would say all of you have reactions. We were in combat dropped, but I would say that everyone still remained kind of like on that edge of combat, right? My personal opinion, I'm not a big fan of the no reactions in the first round of combat anyways. I think no reactions in a surprise round is perfectly fine, but there isn't a surprise round in 5th edition, which I think is stupid. So I think the only reason that whole no reaction BS works is because it's like, oh, there's no surprise round, so blah, 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 blah. So, anyways, in this particular instance, you've all been on edge, you've all been ready for combat to reinitiate. Absolutely, I think you have reactions. Which would mean, Ashes, if you were trying to do something with a reaction,
I'm just like,
sure.
I realize that, that shit's not working, but like, considering the circumstance, regardless of the fact that no, it's not going to work, I'm going to try it anyways. But little, like, just, visual flair, right?
Ooh,
I know that
visual
blood
flare.
rights aren't working, or my blood maledicts aren't working, right? But it is blood magic, right? And I've mostly, I haven't really mentioned this the entire campaign, but Ashes doesn't do the whole, like, edgelord thing of cutting himself open and using the blood pouring out as, like, a component, right? The way I see it is like your blood's in you, and it's still a component for blood magic. You don't have to cut yourself open to get to it, right? But
so for Ashes, does he literally just like burn blood from inside his body?
yeah, well, I would imagine like if this was like a more like casual conversation period, he would like be able to like flex and get a vein to like show, and he would cast a spell, and you could see that vein like slightly deflate, like without having broken his skin.
Wow.
Right? Like I mean, what is the like epidermal layer
It's
really
just like it's just like Ashes just loses every time he writes up or every time he maledicts, he just like loses like a quarter pint of blood or some shit.
Or like if it's in combat, he's just covered in wounds anyway. He just pulls from what's
bleeds it out. Absolutely.
Right.
That makes sense.
But-
That's cool.
but-
I like that.
For this, he's really going to like concentrate. He's going to actually take Zalara and drag her down his forearm to get like some fresh hemoglobin, and he's going to just like in desperation reach out and try to impose disadvantage with the Blood Curse of the Eyeless.
Roll me. You reach out, and there's nothing there, right? There's you. Something is wrong. Something is not right. Something is not working with the powers that you've trained in, the powers that you've earned. And even as you drag Zalara across your flesh and you feel that primal connection with her, you still feel this wrongness, this barrier, this presence. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw. Your DC is 25.
Okay.
And he's standing next to me. No.
And I know, all I know is that she dies if I don't pull this off. So I'm like, this is like a desperate Hail Mary.
Desperate enough Hail Mary to use a DM inspiration?
I don't have one.
Oh, I thought you had one from last session. You already used it.
Had I had it, I absolutely would use it here. But
You feel a flash. You see a flash in your vision, right? You see a flash of darkness, of swirling energy. You feel a sort of like wrongness, a rot creep through your veins as you reach out to try to inflict this demon with your blood curse. And you feel, or I guess maybe rather like hear this in your mind.
Thank you, Discord.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Discord did not,
hear
but
it.
it's a very low chuckle in the back of your mind as whatever has afflicted you does not let you break through in this moment. You are unable to afflict this creature with your blood curse of the Eyeless.
well, at that place, he's gonna like scream no as he does whatever he's gonna do.
He starts to do.
It's definitely the bull helmet. I think
He
the bull
starts to
helmet's
do
the
what he
problem.
gonna do. That is going to be
Helmet.
fuck.
I did it. Oh wait, that's
Uh,
advantage. Shit.
Yeah. Nope. Boom boom. Boom boom.
She did.
Boom boom.
The 2 hits would have done it anyways.
Yeah,
Like
I gotta do.
if needed.
Do we get to know why you're rolling 2 sets of damage?
He's got many arms.
I'm
they're
rolling
auto
2 sets
crit.
of damage because they're all auto crits. Because she's unconscious.
Mm.
So it's weird that you rolled the exact same every
Yeah,
time.
it's very weird that I rolled the
weird.
exact same. Well, I didn't roll the exact same every single time. Like, if you look, I rolled a 7 and a
different- it's
1,
different
and then a
numbers.
5
That's
and a
what's wild.
3. But, like,
That's
how
wild.
wild.
That is
Right?
fucking wild.
That is pretty fucking wild.
Honestly, the chances of that happening have got to be astronomical because, like, it doesn't really matter what the number is. That's like getting like the 213 or the 413s. That's like rolling 420s basically in a row. Well, I guess not, since they're different values. It just add up to the same number. So never
So what
mind.
you're saying is Jeremy needs to cancel the rest of the session, and in the next 27 minutes, run and go buy a Powerball ticket.
Yeah.
Is she dead, Jeremy?
Oh, bro, are you kidding?
Helmamath, that hand that had begun to kind of like drift down, right as there's suddenly a Zorn leaping up towards its face, and a dagger whistles by its arm, right? It reflexively pulls the arm back to shield itself, drawing her body directly in front of it, trying to block Mossy. And as it does, that other hand reaches up, reaches to her throat, and rakes its claws across her throat, ripping it open. You see blood, bone, open esophagus out of her throat, and just begin to spill out onto the floor. And even as that happens, he still like screams out and unhinges its jaws and bites into the back of her neck and shoulder as well. And as that happens, you see her eyes flash open and she screams until the throat is ripped out, and then it's just... And her body begins to kick and flail as she is not dead. And it is Ash's turn.
Her throat is ripped out, but she's still alive.
She took 71 damage. She has 81 health. She is not an insubstantial figure. She is a trained mage working within the Academy of Dwemercore. She is not nothing. But that got really fucking close. Ashes, you reach out and you fail, but in your failure, there is the potential for victory, because Kelmamath also failed. Whether it's because of sheer luck, whether it's because in that moment it feared for its own life, right? As Mossy jumped out towards it, right? Whatever the case, it failed to coup de grace her in that particular moment. You're up. What do you want to do? She will not survive another attack. And she is defenseless.
As you run forward, Ashes, you see Matt slap a talisman on Zalara as you run forward.
Oh, all right.
I grab a potion, uncork it, and I shove it in her throat hole.
What the fuck?
No.
That's a graphic image, by the way. Like, not shoving it in the mouth, shoving it into someone's throat hole. That's crazy.
What is that?
And then it heals, and then it closes with the glass vial.
There's just a glass vial here. It's just like... Blub, blub.
You can still see like bubbles coming out of it as the liquid drains.
That's disgusting.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no.
Right. Horribly disgusting.
I know, right?
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. Sorry.
What you doing, fam?
I am going to move
I know
here,
what you're doing.
and I'm going to run here. And that should be the amount of distance required to bull rush. I'm gonna try to knock this guy on the floor.
Now, okay, I don't want to be that person, but I'm gonna be that person. For clarity, when charging, you have to charge in a straight line for 10 feet, I believe. To
beat his ass with your sword.
So that's the downside, right? Like charging is fun,
prone.
but you have to have a certain amount of distance to effectively charge something.
You got it. All right. Well. Then I'm just going to start swinging. Here we go.
Swing, swing, swing.
From the table side of my heart. 21.
Thank you. Yeah, 21 hits. This thing has an AC of 15.
15. All right, here we go. Damage.
Go ahead on either of those and add another 2d6.
Another 2d6?
And that's damage. And then I will slash R 2d6. Nice. Not bad. Okay. So that is 5, 14, 10, 13, 7, 10, and 8.
67 damage.
67 damage. Unless he resists slashing or thunder.
There's a reason Kelmamath took a hostage. There's a reason that this encounter went the way that it went in the first place. Because Kelmamath had already realized that it was outmatched in the moment. As it reaches its hand up reflexively to rip the throat out of Marta Moonshadow, it does so knowing that it will die. It will return home, it will have failed its mission, but it will at least leave the bitter taste of defeat in your mouths. Except it fails to kill its hostage, and like lightning, ashes is upon the creature, slicing once, twice, thrice, through the arm, through another 2 arms as they rise up to try to block him, and then into the creature's chest, killing it. It shrieks. Mossy hits the side of it, somehow still in the air after Ashes has sprinted across the room and just cut through this creature. Mossy suddenly then hits the side of it in like slow-mo jumping through the air, right? And then the hand holding Marta is cleaved through during these frenzied assaults. She collapses onto the ground, and this demon falls back, slams into the desk behind it where Marta's diary was sitting, right? And it shrieks and bellows in these discordant voices, 3 arms chopped to bits, the third one flailing, trying to like fend itself off, but you can already see its whole form is shriveling, it's wilting, it's dissolving, and in a matter of heartbeats, the demon Kelmamath is no more. It is gone.
Hell yeah.
I like to imagine that even after those 3 strikes, I'm sitting there still like angrily stabbing, like
chopping and stabbing. That's why that other hand is out there trying to fend you off, even in its death throes.
And its body like eventually misses, and I end up just stabbing the ground. I'm like, fuck.
Okay.
Matt runs over and quickly tries to heal her throat.
Okay. I was gonna say, right, like, she didn't die from its assault, but she was horribly mangled, horribly wounded, and that could mean results down the road if something does not happen immediately, right? So, Matashtai acts in that immediacy, right? Like, Matashtai immediately rushes over to try to heal Marta. Is anyone else doing anything in this particular moment? Basically, I'm asking Ezrah if you're doing anything else in this particular moment. As Ashes slaughters this creature, right? Like pin drops. Ashes is across the room, cutting this creature to ribbons. As
soon as I see Matt, who is our field medic, on Marta, there's nothing I can do to help in that instance. And this isn't with haste by any means, but I intend to make my way towards her diary.
Okay. Gotcha. Matt, what are you doing? What are you doing to heal her? What's your plan here? What's your plan of stand?
Well, I would see if my Hands of Healing can do enough. If not, I would use Cure Wounds from the Staff of Healing.
Let's try with your Hands of Healing initially. Let's see what we get, and I will give you an answer from there.
Okay, I'm gonna use 3 key points, and I'm gonna do kablam, kablam, kablam.
Wow! Holy wow! What is that? That's 17 healing.
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot of damage here, right? The demon was trying to rip her throat out, and it mostly succeeded. The only reason she is not dead is because her spine is still intact, right? But her windpipe's crushed. It looks like her jugular is severed. She is bleeding profusely. The only reason that she is not going to die in the next 6 seconds is because you are doing everything you can to shore her up, right? To heal her. The vast majority of that 17 healing goes into repairing her jugular and keeping her windpipe from suffocating her.
Yeah. Go ahead.
There is still a large opening, right? There's still blood freely flowing. She is not completely out of danger.
I
But
bust out if I can.
Well, I still got more stuff if you're gonna waste resources.
I mean, I've got a healer's kit with like 6 charges on it. I could at least like.
this is
that heals
just
damage.
in this 6
Okay.
seconds,
Yeah, yeah.
right? This is
Okay.
just
No.
in this 6 seconds.
I would,
Immediately what is happening, right? Like, there's the next 6 seconds, right? Like, so the reason why she's not dying in the next 6 seconds is because Matashtai repairs her jugular so it's not spurting blood everywhere, right? And she's not going to suffocate in the next few moments because he repairs her windpipe, okay? Her throat's still tore open, she's still really fucked up, but she's not on death's door at this moment, okay? So I would say Ezrah is interested in investigating, but his is not an immediacy situation. Meaning that from an immediacy standpoint, it's back to Ashes and Matashtai to figure out what they want to do, if anything, to further this situation with Marta Moonshadow. That is to say, for clarity, right? Right? Like, she still looks really fucked up, but maybe she doesn't die now. What you have done is probably kept her from dying now. Maybe she'll die in a few days from infection, right? Like, you know, it's that kind of situation. And maybe she'll never speak again.
Oh God!
Right? Like she is fucked up, but she's not dying. Yeah. So do you want to do anything else? That's up to you.
Me? Yes.
Both of you, either of you. In this moment, feel free. Don't worry about initiative order. We're still in kind of like 6-second increments, but you guys are free to collaborate.
Hands.
Okay,
more hands.
so more hands, more hands. Pop, 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 pop. Okay. 8, 12, 17. Where does your healing ability come from, Matashtai? That's another 17, by the way. You talk about me rolling the same shit. You just rolled the same shit.
Yeah, it did.
It's the night of rolling the same shit.
Yeah. It would have been super weird if it was in the exact same order as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't even realize you rolled the exact same numbers. I thought you just rolled the same total. Fuck. You're worse. Well, no, you're the same as me. How did we both do that?
Those aren't D20s, though.
The fuck? That's cray. Yeah. Okay. Matashtai, the moments after Marta hits the ground, the arm still holding her head, shriveling, withering, decaying, and blowing to dust. You're on your knees next to her, healing her, your hands out splayed across her throat, energy pouring out from you. You feel Valina's spirit well up inside of you, and Ashes and Ezrah, you both see this blue silhouette kind of like hovering over Matashtai as he is kneeling down next to Marta. You pour your heart, your soul, right? Wherever your power comes from, your key into Marta, your inner life, your inner energy, into her, trying to save her, realizing that she might not have been immediately killed, but that was horrific damage done to her, and that even if she doesn't die, it might mean dire consequences regardless. Your ministrations are able to bring her back from death's door, heal the severity of the wounds to prevent her from potentially dying in the next few moments. And then further, you see the bones begin to re-knit, recalcify, right? You see the skin begin to grow back up over her esophagus. And by the end of your second round of healing, there's just a ragged red scab over the top of her throat, right? Vibrant, angry, potentially a little feverish, but far more acceptable than 12 seconds ago when she had a spine. And that was about it.
Does that make you like comrades in arms if you see another person's spine through their throat? Like how do you come back from that?
Magic.
Marta for blessing is unconscious in this moment, right?
Oof. Yeah. Oof.
She awoke from her unconsciousness for a brief moment as Kelmammoth ripped through her throat. She shrieked in the initial feelings of the pain, and then there was just guttural wind and spurts as her lungs, breathed their last. In theory, right in that moment, and then she fell unconscious, whether due to pain or whatever, right? She is in this moment not awake, not active, not involved in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You realize at this point, Matashtai, you've healed her well enough, short of any regenerative magic, that you've done as much as you can do. She's not, for better mechanical terms, she's not full health, so to speak, right? But you've repaired the damage in as much as you have the magical ability to repair the damage. Could there be side effects? Could there be possible situations that you're just not capable of fixing? Yes, absolutely. But you've done what you can do, and she is probably safe unless there's some severe underlying shit going on that you're just not aware of. She should not die today?
Shouldn't.
Right?
Turns out she has cancer.
Right.
Is
right.
there,
Like,
is there
She's
any
terminal.
Is there any magical afflictions about her that I can still detect?
You still have detect magic up, absolutely.
I do.
She has upon her person. She is currently reading only a single magical reading. And that is because your prior dispel magic dispelled all of the other magic upon her. The only thing that she actively has from a magical signature upon her is that she actually has a kind of like a half staff that is strapped to her back that is reading as a magical signature.
Just want to make sure
enchanted
there's
item.
not some sort of
Half-staff
additional
bigger than a
magical.
quarterstaff?
No. It is in fact smaller than a quarterstaff. Thank you
It's
for
half
asking.
the size of a quarterstaff. It's actually an eighth staff.
Yeah, it's an eighth staff. There we go. We'll go from there. Oh fuck.
Like a scepter at that point.
It's close.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
baton.
You guys
Pretty
would
much.
see like
It's more like a
Ash-
cane, honestly.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm. But you guys would
It's
see.
probably like 4 feet.
Yeah.
That's kind of what a half staff is.
So, sorry. What were you gonna say?
You go ahead,
Ashes?
if you were.
I will continue to narrate because that is my duty. What did you have to say?
I was just gonna say that Ashes is. You could see that he's like pacing back and forth. He's like really angry how that happened.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
blood still pouring down his forearm where he cut himself open. Just
After I stabilize Marta, I'm gonna kind of walk over and kind of put a hand on Ash's shoulder. I'm like, "It's all right. You did good. Take a breath."
I think as that exact moment is happening, right? Like Bones will also kind of like mosey on over to Mossy and feed him a gemstone. Be like, "Good job, Mossy. That was good shit.
Good, Mossy.
Hell yeah, nice stuff." And then he'll kind of like kneel down and kind of like at least show concern for Marta because Bones is invested or has been invested in Marta and seeing what's going on with her. But he's not going to take an active role in this conversation necessarily. He's just going to show his support in the coming moments if need be. But she is currently unconscious, which means that I think the only other active thing that is actually happening is Ezrah. Ezrah heading over
Do I detect anything magical in relation to her diary and the other materials that are...
You do detect some faint magical registry about the diary itself, but I would say you're relatively familiar with such minor enchantments. What this diary is basically enchanted with is preservation, right? It's magic to help keep this diary safe, waterproof, from deteriorating, etc., right? So this is basic, almost kind of like what you might do to a spell book to kind of like gear a spell book up to being a spell book, but stopping short of that mark, right? So this is just like, oh, I don't want to lose this. Let's make this a little safe, type situation.
Speaking of, do I see her spellbook anywhere? With my detect magic up?
Click detect magic for me, because I need to know exactly what its parameters be.
30 feet. I mean, unless it's in a hidey hole.
Presence of magic within 30 feet. You can use faint or you can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. It's under her mattress.
I would collect that.
Okay. Easy enough. You can identify it, or identify where it is. And it's easily reachable. Like it's not exactly kept in a super safe location.
Is there anything else hidden while I'm realizing? Oh, hey, she's hiding shit. Is there anything else?
That
hidden?
fucking painting is absolutely fucking magical.
Well, that's similar to the painting that I have in my room. If
Yeah,
memory serves.
yeah, absolutely. But other than that, nothing out of the ordinary for this place? Question mark?
Yeah, that within reason, understandable. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna pull the spell book, put it on her desk next to her diary, and
Sure.
I'm gonna
spend
some time with both of those.
Are you gonna
Because
start?
I assume we have to spend some time with this person recovering.
What are you starting with? Are you really gonna rifle through this girl's diary, Ezra?
Yes.
Unabashedly, yes?
Damn.
Wow!
Woman controlled by a demon for maybe as long as we have known her? Yes.
That's
like
wow.
This is extenuating circumstances,
wow.
in Ezra's opinion. The first thing he would probably do if neither of these items are locked. The first thing he would do is do a quick pencil through to see how full the diary is, how much of a time sink that effort is to try and get into the mind of this demon and what it was doing to her.
Gotcha. I would say neither of them, they both have like simple clasps on them, but neither of them are locked, right? And if you take a look at the diary real quick, the diary itself is probably about 250 pages. They're not marked, so it's hard to tell, but you're able to at a glance kind of figure it out. And they are probably about 150 pages are filled out, right?
Okay.
As you're kind of like quickly looking through, you can see that the entries are relatively sporadic. It's not like an everyday diary, right? It's a when shit happens diary. And from the most recent entries are very recent. The previous entries go back to probably about, they're all dated. So the most recent entry goes back to a year ago, basically, or around a year ago. Not an exact year ago, but about a year ago.
Okay. So this could be pre-possession. Interesting. With that information that this will be a little bit of a time sink, I will...
Yeah, it would be a time sink to really read
delve
everything.
Yep.
But yeah.
So I would then instead spend time with the spellbook, see what's all sitting there. And
spellbook only takes you probably about 10 minutes to start to rifle through and kind of like get a decent understanding. Marta is a conjuration adept.
Yep.
So most of her focus is conjuration, though there are a couple of kind of like catch-all style spells. She also has detect magic in here, right? She has things like counterspell in here, but she also has a lot of summoning rituals, conjure elementals, summon elementals, things like dimension door, teleportation style things. The highest spell you find in here is a 5th level spell. So
do I see any ritual spells that are on my list of spells I need? I
don't. What's your list? The only ritual spells she has in here are Unseen Servant or Detect Magic, and Detect Magic. So I don't believe so.
Okay. What is her highest levels? What are her high level spells in here?
5th level spell is Conjure Elemental. That's the only 5th level spell she has.
Okay.
Yeah. So from a magical standpoint, Marta is not as advanced as you are, but she's close, right? Like she's near, but she's not quite there. And from what you've heard of the hierarchy of the school, that kind of makes sense, right? Like she seems to be middle of the pack, right? Which means
And
that
Spite is here? That's concerning.
which means that some of the higher people might be closer to your level or surpassing your level.
So Spite is actually big shit, not a little shit. Got it.
Who know? Who know? Don't know.
So yeah, I just penciled through that, and then I assume we're at a lull.
Yeah, we are, in fact, at a lull. Oh my god. I feel like I could breathe for the first time tonight. What the fuck happened? Holy shit.
We did an entire session in the same room.
It was in... Well, it
To be
turned
fair,
into a
you
fight.
were not in the room when we started.
That's true. That's very true. It
It's
turned
true.
into a
You
fight.
and I got to move into room.
Yeah, that's true.
The fight was... It had complications, but you guys worked through those complications quickly. But that hostage situation just was like, yo, what the fuck? So I think in this interim, right, Marta is unconscious and is probably going to be unconscious for a little bit of time. She's not
in a coma.
Yeah, she's not
wake up.
the like you stabilize when you're dead, so you wake up in like 1d4 hours
Long
or
rest,
something like that,
or
right? Like
whatever
that
it
type of
is, yeah.
situation. She'll probably be up sooner rather than later, right? Hour at maybe at most, though it's hard to kind of tell, right? Like Matashtai does anyone have medicine trained? Does anybody have? You do? Okay, Matashtai, what? Roll a medicine check for me. 23. Fuck. God damn. Where was that earlier? Jesus Christ.
I didn't have to roll medicine.
I guess technically that's just rolling a 15. You have a +8 on it, so yeah, that's fair.
I mean, he rolled definitely persuasion checks that were on par.
That's true. Okay. Her breathing is somewhat shallow, right? Probably because her body's still in shock from the trauma that she received. But she seems stable, and there was a brief moment of time in the immediate aftermath, right, that her body maybe did go into shock, right? Like you felt her skin go clammy, right? And her whole body started to get a little cold. But she seems to have passed that in the 5 to 10 minutes that has passed since, right? And you're kind of like keeping an eye on her, keeping abreast of the situation. She will likely be not okay within the next hour or two, but she will likely regain consciousness in the next hour or two, right? She will likely come to. She might have some difficulty breathing for the next while. She might have some difficulty speaking for the next while. But from what you can tell, as far as you can tell, she seems to be medically stable in the situation. So,
Nice.
are you guys just gonna camp out here while Ezra rifles through her diary?
Well, I mean, I'll ask Matt. Do you want me to go get somebody? Like,
yeah.
Do we
I don't
trust
know.
anyone?
Like, we
Do
might
we
get in
trust?
trouble for attacking. They might blame us for the
well,
attack. I don't know.
We didn't attack Marta. We attacked a demon drow thing.
Bones
Which
looks
is
at you,
where?
Ashes. Yeah, Bones looks at you and goes, "What demon drow thing?"
And Ezra's over there going through her shit, so.
I want to
Look
know
like
where
we
it
broke
is.
in.
I'm sorry.
No, like, were any of these people fucking clerics?
No.
Really, Matt? Nobody.
I highly doubt it.
The question is, do you trust anyone here? Because I don't. We saw
See.
one student attempting to
Bones-
assassinate
Bones
another.
says immediately out loud, he'll say, "I trust Elon."
He's my best friend. I think.
I mean, I don't
honestly,
think. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he can help right here, but I trust Elon. You asked if I trusted anybody, not if I think he
Yeah.
can help.
I did, but in this moment, in her weakened
But we
state,
know Elon does not like Marta. Like,
Right.
outright.
Well, To be fair, he didn't like her before because she was drow obsessed. They might get along now.
Let's be clear here. At this moment, she is so weakened. This is a chance for someone to move up. We need to be careful here.
I think Bones, Ezra,
here.
Bones looks at you and Bones points at you and he goes,
No.
He just shrugs. He shrugs, and you see his other hand, which was like pulling a dagger out, just puts the dagger back.
When you go get your stuff, I'll go to the center right now.
It's like, yeah, okay,
No.
all right.
This is. We need to figure out if. We need her to recover because at least looking at this diary, what little I did, the last entry's a year ago.
Or sorry, the first entry was like a year ago. The last entry is recent, right? Within the last couple days. So it seems like the diary started like a year ago and it is up till now. Okay. That's my bad.
That changes what I was gonna say.
That's why I'm interjecting with it.
Yeah. We need to figure out what her mind state is, and it's very likely that we're gonna have to watch her for. I mean, is she gonna wake up in the next 24 hours?
Don't know.
Bones looks at you and he seems like he has a thought and he goes, "Oh, she better because aren't like don't they have like tests tomorrow?"
Yeah, but if the person that was going to take the tests was not her, does she care?
I mean, she might care.
All students have to do monthlies, like period.
If we need to get someone else out of this school, that is perfectly fine.
I think at this point you guys are evacuating like a quarter of the school. Like, what the fuck?
It's just violence and turbulence. The dragon doesn't count. The dragon wasn't a student.
Look, you can say what you want to say, but you're slowly moving people out of the academy grounds.
If anything,
get everybody out of Dwemercore.
They could be an ally in this situation. We get them out as long as they get her out.
Then do we just want to make the decision we're staying in here until we're certain she's safe, or what?
I think that's.
Well, I mean, it's only going to be like an hour or two, guys. Let's
wait.
talk
What do you mean?
and then make a decision.
She just had her throat ripped out. What do you mean she's going to be up in an hour?
She's going to be up in like an hour or two.
I think you're making shit
will
up.
trust your judgment. Here, I will break out a
He
healer's
is the
kit.
field
Now,
medic,
I
as you pointed out.
Yeah, and her throat was ripped out. I don't have to
The throat
agree.
is now returned.
She has a new one.
Oh, I love it.
Someone's throat
I
get
got-
ripped out.
I got better.
I got
I got better.
But yeah, I'll actually pull out a healer's kit just to be like, gauze, bandage, and I'll
Dress up the
actually
wound and
dress her
put
neck,
some ointment
maybe
on.
mitigate the chance of infection and all that kind of
Sure,
jazz.
yeah, absolutely.
Watch all his work to make sure he does it right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna assume that you guys like put her in her bed from there and don't leave her on the
I'm
floor.
gonna
that type of
keeps on
situation.
her side,
Sure.
because if she's bleeding internally and laying on her back, she could drown in her own blood.
Sure, good, nice, very nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut the door and make sure the lock enchantment is back in place.
Actually, while you guys were going through this whole scenario, the door shut itself and relocked.
Okay,
Say,
I
if
just
it
wanted
does-
to make sure
If
that
it's
was the
locked,
case.
shake the battering ram at it, and it might act right.
Which, by the way, did you leave that outside?
He totally
He
did.
did.
There is a battering
All right,
ram
I'm gonna walk
outside
out and grab
hallway.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
walk out and grab that and put it in my bag again.
Go
The
ahead
door's
and walk
locked.
outside and grab it.
Okay, I walk outside and
The
grab
door's locked.
it. I say, bibbidi bobbidi, open this door.
What? You say
It worked.
what?
Does not respond to you. I'm just kidding. The door's open from the inside without issue.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I go out and I
It's
grab
from
my
the
battery ram
outside
and I
that
come
the
back
doors
in.
are a problem. You're able to open the door, not let it close, grab the portable ram, and pull it inside. As you do,
I look at Ashes and I say, "This is how you treat other people's belongings."
We were kind of crunched for
Flask
time.
is out
I
there.
need you to roll me a actually
D12.
we'll do this. Each of us is going to roll a d20. Everyone roll a d20.
Okay. Here I go.
Blammo.
Kablamo! Okay.
Damn.
Nope. Yep. Matashtai. You open the door, grab the portable ram. As you open the door to grab the portable ram, instinctually look around you, and you see, standing at his doorway, Spite Harodel. Standing at his doorway directly across from you, Cephalosk. And then standing at his doorway to the southeast of you, Nihilus Jowd.
Oh my
As
god.
all three of them just kind of like stand there, note you.
What was that ruckus?
Hey guys, just practicing some spells, and I close the door.
And I think that is a great opportunity for us to go ahead and end tonight's session of Dungeon of the Mad Mage. This has been great. I have had a blast tonight.
I think this is the most interesting it's been with the least amount of movement.
Right? Like, in a single room the whole fucking night, but my god, has shit happened. Holy
Mitch,
fuck.
I have to apologize. Like, I contributed basically nothing to negotiations. I had nothing, dude. I was like, if I say anything, I'm gonna fuck this up.
You didn't need to negotiate. You negotiated with that fucking door, right? And
Right.
after
You did all the
negotiating,
negotiating I needed, because if you hadn't done that, I was going to have to ethereal mist myself
ethereal,
into the
go
room.
inside, and unethereal to get in there.
You
And
just have
Also, after negotiations failed, because keep in mind, they failed Ashes. Well, I mean, they were working, but we cut them short.
We kind of broke
Yeah,
them. But,
maybe
I was talking myself into a corner.
Right.
I didn't really have a way out.
maybe they wouldn't have failed, but we'll never know. You're the one who cut that fucking demon down in an instant. Just saying.
emotionally
It
compromised.
takes all kinds. And I'm so mad I didn't hit you at all, Jake. I'm so mad. I'm gonna have to outlaw the fucking mirror image spell going forward. I get
I was
you in a
just going to dimension
situation.
door out of the room.
Oh my
Like that
God.
was what I was originally going to do.
I was just like, oh shit. Here's
good.
the thing, right? Like, cause initially I was like, oh, well, Bones is in the way. I'm gonna go for Bones. It makes sense. But then I don't know if he did it intentionally or not, but Mitch moved Bones out of the fucking way on his turn, which probably wasn't intentional because he couldn't fucking see
I'm
anything.
blind.
Right? He
I
was
didn't mean to do
blind. He
that.
couldn't see anything. And it just gave me direct access, and I was like, oh my god! Holy shit! And then you fucking mirror imaged, and I was like, you fucker.
I mean, I was gonna do that, or I was gonna use my cape of the Montebank, or I
Well,
was gonna.
you were gonna arcane, you were gonna knock the fucking door, is what you were gonna do.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah. No, after that fell apart, I was.
I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going through my list of spells. How do I get out of this?
I had fun. Thanks for hanging out, everyone.
That's good.
We appreciate your patronage. We appreciate everyone hanging out and having a good time. That's going to be it for Dungeon of the Mad Mage. When we rejoin, when we come back, we'll see how this all develops. We'll see what happens when Marta Moonshadow awakens, right? We'll see what happens with the rest of the students who have witnessed some shenaniganry going
Witnessed shit.
on.
See some shit. We
They
were
won't
practicing
witness
They
anything.
didn't see shit. They didn't hear shit. They don't know what's going on. And this was a side quest. This was a hey, let's go do this before we go to sleep so that Ezra can go back to researching and figure out what the fuck is going on with this goddamn artifact that he is after. So hopefully when we next play, we will see some of the fallout of all of these different things. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Farewell.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.